What's up, guys? Welcome to AC Designs Garage, and today I've got a special video for you guys. As a ton of you guys been asking about flux core welding, I'm not a huge fan of it, but hey, I'm here to help you guys out. So today we're going to be flux core welding. Well, hold on. Today we're going to be attempting to flux core weld 22 gauge sheet metal, and that's thin stuff for flux core. Not designed for it, but hey, make sure you stay to the end and see if we were successful and became heroes instead of zeros. Coming up. All right, guys, let's get over here to this machine we're using today. It's the Arc Captain MIG 200. I love this machine. Been using it for a while. Did a review video. They actually sent it out to me and for free, and they told me to just use it and give your honest opinion. I ain't been paid to say anything on it, but I will say so far this has been a great machine. It's MIG, TIG, stick, flux core. It does all. Actually has a hookup also for a spool gun too. You can do aluminum with. But today we're going to be doing the old flux core, so I have to change a couple things around. But this thing is real user friendly, and I'm going to go ahead and change this part around because I was doing the solid core shielded gas that I prefer. And what you have to do to change over, which they make it easy because a lot of the other machines you have to go inside, unbolt, and swappy stuff around. But the flux core is DC electrode negative. And what your electrode is, if you don't know, is going to be your MIG gun. It's your electrode. And when you're running it with the gas, you got to run it DC electrode positive. So if you look down here, there's a negative here. This is on the ground clamp right now. And this here is your positive lead side. That goes to your gun. So all you got to do, they got these dent style connectors. It's quick connect. You just go pop, drop that unit off, and take this one off, and just do this number. Put the electrode to the negative side, and put your ground clamp to the positive side. Because if you don't do that, it won't weld worth a hootenanny. We're going to be also running 220. I can't remember if I told you guys. It's a 220 110 machine. It's got an adapter so you can drop it down. I run 220 on everything because I have it here, but cool thing about running flux cores, we can go outside in the wind and go out there and just weld and don't worry about it. But this machine's really cool. Has a light in here. Of course, I ain't plugged the machine up yet. Let's do that so you can see the light. Like this little cart, I got it from Harbor Freight. It's the Vulcan cart. Pretty neat little setup. We'll go back here. I'll cut this switch off because I don't like to dabble in here while it's hot. So you go back around here. Cut the switch off. Look at that. That's a pretty neat thing. And it'll go in here to cycle. Cool thing is this fan and stuff on this machine does not run unless it needs it. It's on demand. So that's really cool. So you ain't got to listen to this. But I thought the light was cool. I'm going to go in there and cut it off because I don't like to fiddle around with the everything hooked up and stuff. Right, go down here. I got my flux core. We're running 30 thou wire today, which I think is well, here's my other roller. We got to swap that too. 0.8 on the MMM side of stuff. I don't really know much about it. Man, you believe that junk? Part of my thing's cracked. Yeah, that's what you get for ordering stuff off the Jungle website. But anyhow, here's what we're running. It's 30 thou, yep, 0.8 millimeter. And E71T-GS. Don't know nothing about flux core. I do know flux core is basically hollow. This is solid core here. This is what we run when we run shielding gas. But this here is hollow, and you actually have your flux on the inside of it. So it's like a tube, which is pretty cool. But this stuff has its place. It's nice, but like sheet metal stuff, it's going to be a challenge. Let's see, I got to take all this adapter kit off right here for the big 10-pound spool, because I bought a 2-pound spool because I don't do this, and I'm not going to be doing much of it. But I'm going to do you guys a few videos. We're going to do my next video in the flux core series is going to be a welding square tubing and stuff like that. Maybe some 3/16. We'll get to a little heavier stuff, but I didn't buy a bunch because I don't plan on using it. I just like my gas shield stuff. It's just easier for me. If this is all you got, start with the flux core. You can always move up. Like I said, before you buy a machine though, make sure I would go ahead, if I'm spending the money, and go ahead and pay the money and buy one that's capable of running shield and gas. All right, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna put this wire on here, and I'm gonna tell you how to set up your tension on this, because it's very important, because this stuff will crush and it'll make a nightmare for you. And also, this cool thing about this Vulcan thingy here, get up here where I can open it up. It comes with this cool little box. And this is where I put my drive rolls and all that stuff. I put on these arc captains, they got the V roll, which is what the groove is. The V rolls for the solid core and all that stuff. So we're gonna find the knurled one, the knurly one. There she is. Not sure if y'all can see that or not. It's got little knurls in it, little ridges, little choppy looking things in it. Let's set it down and see if I can zoom in on it. Maybe y'all can see it. Stay. There we go. See the knurls in it? And these are 2 different sizes. It'll say on this side, this is 1.0 and 0.8. So we're going to be running the 0.8 because we're running 30 thou. All right, on this machine here, we're going to go ahead and put the drive roll in. It goes on here, just slides on this little keyed place here. You just pop that off and it flips up. And the 030 is on the inside, or 0.8. Has a key here. You just line that key up right there and put the one you're using to the inside, because that's where the wire goes. And we're just going to turn it just a smidge on. Try to look down in there. Maybe I'll cut the switch on so the light come back on. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty close right there. All right. I'll hang this on there. And what kind of stuff I gotta take apart here? This adapter kit, I wonder. I don't know if I need the spring and all that. Maybe I can just put this little washer. And then we'll just run the nut up on it, because I don't think you need the springy dingy on here. Yeah, like I said before, you got to be careful with this thing. When you put your tension on here, you want to back it off, and I'm going to show you by hand how to do it, because if you crank down on this thing, it's going to kick it. When it comes out, it's going to be all wonky stuff, so you don't want that. So I'm going to get you on the tripod, so I'm going to do this and untape this little protective layer on it. When you take it off, make sure, well, I need to see which way it unrolls off here. Take this off. Okay, make sure. Most of the time they put the sticker on the correct side, but we'll take this off and see, because you're going to want it to feed off the bottom straight in here. You don't want it to come down here and try to feed in like that. So, all right, let's find a little piggy tail here. Make sure they got it, because, yeah, you don't want this thing to unwrinkle. Man, I hate that thing got bent like, or broke like that. It's been in here a while. Grab my knife. Just kind of hold your finger on it. Let's see, it's going to come out. Is it coming off the top? Why, yes, it is. Yeah, we don't want it coming off the top. So we're going to flip her around. I lied to you guys. Most people put so you want it coming off like that. Hold your hand on it, because this thing will come unwound like crazy. You have a mess. I just hope that the wire don't get caught on all this where the spool's busted up. I guess that's the chances you get when people chunk stuff from the road all the way to your front porch. So, one thing I did, my pliers are all the way over there. I can't take my hands off of it. There we go. Okay, we're back. I'm gonna link all these tools that I'm using. MIG pliers are a definite. Clip that off. You don't want it rough coming in there, and see if we can get this bed in here. Feed her in here. Come on now, babies. Kink it. Bend her down just a little bit. Alright, you see it come through there? We'll just hold our finger on it and line it up with the one that goes in the gun and not shoot past it like I did. And it's a little harder to feed this one in because the wire feed's knurled on it. There we go. Alright, we're gonna push a little in, and I'm gonna go ahead and back this way off. Push it down and click it. Look down in there and make sure the drive roll, everything's running just right. Looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is set our drive roll tension. Like I said, you don't want it cranked down way hard on it because it will collapse it because it's hollow. Alright guys, well, as luck would have it, I would buy every wrong one of these things that I could get. So I'm doing this video today. This is how stuff usually goes. This one here is the slide on for similar to like a miller. And this is a twist on like the Yes Welders and the Tweako and all them. Well, you know what? Neither one of them works for this. But we're going to improvise. We're going to run the miller style because this one has that little spring twisty clip thing. The millers have like a little spring in there also, but it sticks up further. Alright guys, well you can see the dilemma we have here. This one here will not stay on. And basically all this thing does is just protects this area here. So we're just going to do a little redneck engineering on it. What else would we do? Electrical tape. So I ain't got time to run and try to order stuff, and I want to get this video done today. So I'm going to show you how not to do stuff. The correct thing would be to drop down there in my description box below and go to Art Captain and just order you the right one to fit theirs, because I thought I was going to be smart and just run and get one. Guys, I don't plan on doing a whole lot of flux core welding. I just don't. I may do some and I may order the right one, but I mean, tell me that ain't factory fresh right there. Ain't gonna fall off. Y'all didn't expect anything different, did you? You know we ain't gonna go through a video without doing some kind of redneck modifications. Here we go. I'm gonna run the wire through it. We're gonna start welding finally, I hope. Alright, now what we're gonna do now is keep our lead as straight as we can coming out of the machine. Just hold the trigger. Till it comes out. I can feel it coming through the thing now. There she is. Alright, clip that off. And basically what you're going to do is, we're going to bend it. You should be able to stop it. See, right now it's a little too tight, so we'll go over here and back it off. You're supposed to be able to stop it from coming through with your finger, like there. We'll take off just a hair more. Right there, I stopped it. Perfect. Run her on out some. That should be good. Now your standoff from the metal should be pretty close to 3/8 to 1/2 of an inch. So we're gonna keep it down there on. I'll show it when we get ready to weld. So now I'm gonna go over here and show you how to set the machine up real quick. We got all that set, and there's one thing I forgot to do. Thing I forgot to do is your drive roll here. Forgot to put the nut on. I don't think it would back off. I'm not left-handed, so this is kind of hard to do. That tight, right there, tight. And that ought to be, you can see our setting on this one. I don't know how to work for that. That's where we're at on it. It really ain't holding nothing much at all, but that's the way you need to do it. You don't want it squishing it. So we'll get this shut up. Let's see what it's calling for. We got 1 millimeter. It's about as thin as it goes. You go down here to no gas, 0.8. So it's calling for a 15.7/3.3. We'll go between the 15 to 17, I think. Right here it shows you on the no gas setup, your ground's positive and your MIG gun's negative. So it's a good thing to look at. Make sure we got everything good. We ain't gotta worry about our bottle of gas being on. Cut this up, and there's a couple little switches we got to throw on here. All right, guys, now we're gonna make sure we're in the right mode. That's stick welding, TIG welding, MIG spool gun. Now we're in the MIG. So now we're gonna come over here to our wire size, which will be here. Make sure we got it to the 0.8. That's 30 thou. That's where we're at. All right, guys, now we're still set up on the mix. So what we need to do is come down here and go to Flux. And this right here is just your 2T and 4T and spot weld. 2T is what we on. 2T is where you pull the trigger and it welds and you let off and it cuts off. 4T is where you pull it, it welds till you pull it again. Spot weld, you know what that is. So right now we got it on synergic mode. Probably didn't say that right, but basically this is the auto setting, and on synergic you just move the center one and it does your volts and your basically wire speed and stuff. So we're going to do we'll do it on 16 volts. They give you 115 on the wire speed or your amperage, whatever it says, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to set this in the middle because I don't know what that does. So all right, guys, let's start making a bunch of smoke and a bunch of sparks. We got to hook our ground to the table. And I'll show you our coupons we got real quick. Let's hook this up to the table. Got our table good and clean. One thing with this stuff you want to do. These are coupons. These are 20 gauge sheet metal. I have cleaned the hootenanny out of them. And if you don't know what hootenanny is, that's as clean as you can possibly get it. And that's the trick. You want this thing, if it's not clean, it won't start up quick. And you don't want to spend a lot of time because you're already working with something that is like a super blaster of disaster here that will warp the hootenanny out of it. Another tip. There's 2 tips you need to really focus on. Clean as you can possibly get it. No rust, no grease, no nothing. And 0 gap, guys. No gap. The minimal amount of gap you can have, because any gap you're going to have is going to cause your problems with the blow through stuff. You're going to run in, it's going to be fighting it anyway. But we're going to pull these things up, and I know this is perfect world situation, dead tight as you can get, but it's about what it's going to take. I mean, don't worry about getting the penetration, because I've done a video before, and if you'll go on my weld playlist, it's gap or no gap on the MIG welding, and you're going to get penetration. The problem with it is you're going to get too much penetration. So I'm going to get these tacked up real quick, and then, because it's kind of cheating if you lay it on a flat table, it's going to weld, because it ain't going to be able to fall out the bottom or nothing. So that's why I keep these aluminum blocks and stuff around, and we're going to block it up to where it's off. It ain't sitting dead on anything, so it's kind of cheating. I want to give you as real world as I can, but yeah, here we go. All right, guys, I also linked this. You got to have this stuff. It's anti-spatter stuff. My whole table's sprayed with it. It just keeps stuff from sticking to it. And it's non-flammable and everything, but we'll just spray all this down. Just let it dry real quick, and it'll just make it where you can, basically like waxing your car, but for welding stuff, it helps you get the splatter off. All right, guys, also, you're going to want an air cool, and a lot of guys are going to say, oh, you can't do that, mess the welds up. On this, I say they're correct if it comes to structural welding or anything thicker your weld. You don't want to cool it too quick because it can cause issues, but on this thin sheet metal, heat is your enemy. You want to keep this thing as cool as it can be, but stick together with this, especially with this. Of course, I do that with the other also. And at the end of this, you wait to the end, I'm going to go get another panel that we've done for the gap versus no gap. I'm going to show you the difference of what it looks like after you get done with a gas shielded solid core versus flux core. So here we go. See what kind of mess I can make now. You want to scoop you up one of these rad Death Before Electric hot rod t-shirts, head on over to www.acdesignsgarage.com and scoop you one up, because remember, you can't fabricate or weld without one. So weird not hearing a machine not running. I'm like, I keep wanting to look to see if it's on, but it's on. So right now we've got probably a 3/8 inch stick out, and I'm gonna come right over the top. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start on this piece here and just drag it over to this one. You don't want to start in the middle. Start on this side, just drag it over. We'll do 2 tacks and you're set up. Alright, got that tack. Hey, that don't look bad, guys. This side tack. Alright. It does make a mess. Come on now. Well. Yeah. My stuff worked pretty good. Alright. Say you don't get penetration, but see that blew through. That's what stuck it. I welded it to the table. Perfect penetration, but now we're laying on the table here. And what I'm going to do is, because right now it's really shrank, because what happens when you, wait for this thing. I think we're going to cut the heat down just a skosh too. We're on the 16 and 115. I'm going to do that before I forget. We'll do 15.5. 15.5 and 100. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to come back and put a tack right here, because what I was saying before, I'll use my glove as reference. When you strike an arc on sheet metal, it basically does this. It just wads up like that. And that's why you see people hammer and dialing. You have to hammer and dial it back out, and it stretches the metal. I don't know if you can see it or not on here. Yeah, probably not. But you can almost see where it's kind of pulled in like that on both ends. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this down, and we may hit it with a hammer a couple times, get it to flatten out. Put a tack here, and then we'll weld her up, finish her, guys. Here we go. Trying this for the best, guys. I've got my ball peen. What we're going to do here is we're going to come here and just, since it's on here, we'll use the table as a dolly. Help keep everything as tried and true as you can. This is going to be possible, guys, I think, on a car. But your warping is going to be your worst issue. I mean, that's going to be your enemy that you're chasing. And it's just what it is. But hey, if this is all you've got, that's why I'm making this video. But like I said, buy a welder that's capable of it, because less headaches. This is going to be tough, guys. It's not going to be easy. Solid core with the gas, I got a ton of videos on it. You guys will come out like a hero. These can be zeros, because like I said, you saw how quick I zapped that thing and it burnt through both sides. Now this is extreme. This is 22 gauge. But I'll quit yakking. We'll get a zap right there, and that way we can see if our settings are about right on this arc cappy tone, and we'll get to welding. All right, now we're gonna push down on this, and always clip it, and you can see about how far I am. I'm about the width of these pliers for stick out, and if you buy some of these, this is gonna be about what it is. That's how much standoff you're off of this. And what I'm doing is I'm starting over this way, maybe 1/8 inch or 1/2 millimeter, I don't know millimeters. I'd say 1/8 inch over here, and just pull the trigger and just whap. It's like laying a stitch over. And we're not gonna just keep going down through here. We're gonna do a little bit at a time. We're gonna check for heat, just to keep all the tension down. Let me do a little bit more hammering on this side. It's got... All right, we're gonna take our pliers and push down on there. That's her. Yeah, that's about right. Look how good that spot weld looks on the back side. If y'all can see that. Yeah, that's the bottom side. Man, that looks nice, but like I said, it's on the bottom of the table. So we're gonna put it up and we're gonna get some real world stuff. But she's not bad. We're taking our time, working our way through it. So we'll do a couple of little zaps, then we'll move you around. Remember to clip in between every time. There we go. I will say, guys, this art captain now checking the graphics out. You see her pop up right there? 100% penetration. I'm telling you, this art captain machine is making flux core not too bad. Now, we got these on here. I'm gonna go ahead and hammer them. That's basically spreading it back out. You're gonna have to do it with a dolly. I'm on a table, but starting to get a little tacoing, but not bad. Now, let's get it up here in real world where there's no backer on it. And I'll get y'all a different angle here. All right, we're gonna do us a couple little ones here. We'll hammer them. I'll just lay it on the table like we had a dolly here, but that little stick out's working pretty good. Maybe you can, I won't arc it real quick. I want you guys to see the angle that I'm on. And that's probably 1/4 inch. I'm gonna say 1/4 of an inch. But I got it laid back here and we're just dragging it across. I'm just pulling as fast as I can and letting off. Pull fast. I mean, it's just zap, zap. Just like that. The less heat you can put in, it's gonna help you guys. So here we go. Yep, a little too long on that one. Fill that hole in. Cool it out, son. Man, that's some smoky stuff. Cool it, we'll finish filling it in. Alright, that one's full. Cool this. Put it down here and hammer it. Right, not too bad. I have found out I was trying to get right at the center right there where they divide. You're gonna have to wash it across because every time I hit in the middle, it's just like a needle going through a piece of styrofoam almost. What I'm doing is basically I'm pulling the trigger and sweeping at the same time. Just stand up. I got too much angle on that. Starting to get a little tater chip to her. I mean, guys, it's 22 gauge. And this is flux core. We got a little bit, but if you take your time, now we're getting a little oil can to it, which means we need to just stretch a little more of this out. But I tell you, I'm pretty impressed, guys. Matter of fact, this is my first time flux core welding ever. But I just want to make this to where you guys that don't have the bottle and all that stuff can do this. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to work you. It's going to try your patience. Just be patient, guys. You can do it. All right, guys, I'm going to show you the angle that I'm using from my side. It's an extreme angle. I know people's like, oh, that's the wrong angle. But this is what I'm doing, guys. I'm putting it about here, maybe a wire width over here or two. And I'm just pulling the trigger, and as the wire comes back, it just goes across. I'm not moving it. I'm just pop, just that quick. Pull the trigger, the wire will lay down. It'll actually drag itself across the crack. And that's what I'm doing. It seems to be working. So we're going to try it on a couple more and see how it works from this side. Yeah, man, that thing is balled right in there. I have noticed if you don't clip between every spot, it's going to blow through. Another tech tip. That's going to be annoying. It works though. Yep, that's the trick. Good Lord. Clip it between every one. I know it's a pain, guys, but it seems to help. And that's like a split-second tack, too. I'm going to try one without it, see if it blows through. It didn't, but almost. Clip between every one. Alright, let's cool this monkey off. See how warm it is. Oh, guys, I can lay my hand on it. It's not hot. We'll cool it off. Those short, real short bursts. But keeping it clean, let's go through and do a little dilate. Man, it still stinks. Man, look at that, guys. That's a good weld. That thing's strong. This is 22 gauge and ain't got a bunch of wonky stuff in it. So I'll show you what I got to feel. See if I can put my flashlight behind it. As you can see, these where the pinholes are, and that's basically how I find them. We're gonna go fill them up real quick, and I'm gonna grind it down and hammer and dolly it and call it a day. I don't even think I gotta do the other one. I think we got it figured out. The gap is the thing. Now you're gonna have to really work hard to get a gap to fit like that, like especially on the side. This is my 65 C10. Like if you was doing the side of it, especially if you're running in close to rusty or stuff, it's gonna fight you guys if you can. If you can't, don't let this stop you by saying I can't afford a bottle of gas, so I can't start welding. Start welding, but just make sure you buy one that will accept gas, because it will make your life so easy. So let's get this zapped up and ground, and we'll put it next to what the gas one looks like. Alright guys, here's the hammer dolly I use. This looks, I don't know if it's called a toe dolly. It looks like a toe, looks like a steel toe kinda. It's what I use all the time. This is the ancient snap-on. Just want a good, nice finish on it. And let me get my little air grinder. Like I said, I'm gonna link all this stuff I can in the description below so y'all can get it. But I'm gonna get my air grinder, clean up the back so it don't transfer, because these BBs, when you put the dolly on it and hammer this side, it'll actually transfer it into your sheet metal, and you don't want that. So you grab a grinder and knock the bottom side of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down to smooth this almost like I'm a power hammer. You ever hear anybody use the term hammer weld? That's what this is. Pretty nice, guys. Pretty nice. We'll get a little more in this center and stretch it. Don't even have any pop to it. What y'all think about that? Alright. Get this up close and show it to you. We're going to finish welding. I'm going to grind it. And be ready to wipe mud if it's on the side of the car, guys. She is. Now, like I said, I mean, this thing ain't going to win no beauty contest, but that there is. Look at that. What y'all think about that? Before we ground the back, got the BBs off. It took a lot of them little things out, but you can look. Can't argue with that result right there, but like I said, you're going to fight to get that. It's going to take you a while. Never get in a rush doing this type work. I've done this sheet metal work like this for 20 some years. You get in a hurry, it costs you double the time to fix it. So take your time. That's coming from one of the most impatient people you'll probably ever meet. Anyhow, let's get this unit burned in, ground, and sent out the door. Alright, try to get y'all a little closer view here. Like I said, if you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments below. I'll try to accommodate y'all. Got a buddy of mine wanting to see some 3/16 done. May try to hit that next week. Some Flux core 3/16. He looks like he's putting airbags on a hot rod pickup truck, so we're gonna try to accommodate him next week. I want to get this one done first. You hear how long I'm holding these tacks? I mean, they're just split-second zaps. Pretty daggone good, guys. Let me check it real quick with my light. I even linked one of these. My favorite. This is a Stream Light, not sponsored by any means. We'll drop down to a 60 to knock this top down, then I'll come back with this. I might go get a new 80 and then wash back over it. We're not going to gouge it. Don't turn it. Another tip, don't turn the metal blue. Don't grind on it hard enough to get it blue or purple or start turning colors. Keep it to where you can keep. That's why I do this bare hands. And keep it to where you can touch it. If it starts getting too hot, use your little cooler and cool it off. Heat, warp, heat distorts everything. So heat is your enemy in this anyway. So now we're just going right. I got it angled up. We're just going right down the middle. All right, now we've got it about flush. I'm gonna wash over the whole thing real good, so it's touching good on the sides. Go back with the 80, a newer 80, and finish it up. We might even run a DA over it. I'm gonna keep this one. I used to throw my scraps away. I'm kind of proud of this, and I'm gonna write my heat settings down on it too, and we're gonna hang it on the wall. It's about warm. It's about where you want to stop. I can barely hold it. And I'm going to flip it over on this flat side of the dolly and give it some light hits. Just to flatten it back out. All right, guys, so here it is. Here's our ending voltage and wire feed speed and all that stuff. If you have one of these machines, you can check it out. 030 wire, 0.8. Right here was our final sets, 15.5/100. Arc Captain MIG, 200 flux core, 030 wire. I just run over it with the DA, 80 grit. Grab this so you can see it. It's not bad, guys. That's fully welded across. It's the back side, fully penetrated. 21, 22, it's right around in that area. Depends where you get this. This is some stuff, just some sheet I got from Lowe's Home Improvement. It said 22 gauge on it. It's 22 in some spots, but not everywhere. But anyways, that's it, guys. I mean, let me go grab that other stuff we done with the gas shielded, and I'll show you. Not a whole lot of difference. A lot harder to do, but here's one from a video of the gap and no gap. You can see the welds and stuff with the gas shielding and stuff. Just a little more manageable. Still same penetration, same material, but it cleans up pretty good too. It does a little better without cutting in just the way it's just such a harsh, this flux core is just a violent process for sheet metal. Works great for what it's really intended for. I just wanted to show you that you could do it, but yeah. This is with the solid core shielded gas, and this is flux core. I mean, can't knock it. Like I said, this will just try your patience, but hang in there, guys. Y'all got it. All right, guys, if you stayed this long, I truly appreciate it. It means a lot because I spent a lot of hours on this video, but it turned out really good. I was shocked my first time, flux core welding ever. I mean, I've been welding for probably 30 years, and I've never done it. I've always either stick, MIG, or TIG, or oxy-fuel welded. But, yeah, turned out pretty good. I mean, the results is pretty good. But like I said, guys, it's going to try you. So if you try this and you get discouraged, just keep going. It's hard to do. It's amazing what will change if you put a bottle of 7525 shielded gas solid core, some 023 or 030 wire. Man, it makes your life so much easier. But hey, you don't have to have it. It shows you there. And this has this advantages over top of the other ones because wind could be blowing. It don't matter. You can do it outside. It don't care. And it'll do super thick stuff and penetrate like a mug. So, whatever you want to do, I hope it helped you out. Hope it'll keep you guys in there in the shop, a-arcing and a-sparking. And remember, be kind to one another. Jesus loves you, so do we. God bless. We gone.